We're actually going to be going after Juan Unda for this season.
Yes, very unfunny and kind of like persistent that he is.
Yeah, well, I think he's kind of given up submitting ideas to you because he's, for a guy that works or he claims to work in the entertainment industry for the last 2 decades, he's got some really
worked with Dave Chappelle. Yeah,
he's got some really thin skin because he cannot take criticism.
Most guys can,
but then get out of that industry. You don't belong there.
Yeah,
every remark, every comment, every post that he makes, it's about race, whatever race the person is, or this or that, or it's about New Jersey or Delaware, the 2 places he's lived. Like that's, if you look at the guy's Twitter or his Instagram, that's all he posts about.
Now, let me ask you this: how would Juan Unda book the Heart Foundation turn?
Better, because he's Hispanic and he's from New Jersey. And everybody keeps asking him his opinions on wrestling because Juan Unda has friends.
That's right.
I have proof. And if you don't believe me, how come he has that photograph from 2004 of him talking to someone?
Next was from Keaton Hang on, Gilroy. Disco, I have a report for you, and it's from a former friend of the show, Juan Unda. He wanted you to know that due to his association apparently with you and K100, he was labeled a disco stooge in a Tony Khan Patreon call and was then not allowed to ask any more questions or be on the call. So, are you serious?
Yeah.
How did he get in a Tony Khan Patreon call?
Tony Schiavone. Did I say Khan? Tony Schiavone.
Oh, Tony Schiavone Patreon call.
Yeah. And those guys want to do a Get My Go on Juan Unda. I will not be participating in that.
What does he have? What he has a podcast?
Why not?
Too?
Do you like Juan Unda?
I just don't want to cross the streams with this show. When Juan sent stuff to us for this show.
Oh, what a professional guy you are!
Thank you.
What does Juan Unda do that they're going to review?
Well, he sent people scripts, and they're going to bust his balls. Plus a lot of pictures.
Bro, be my guest. Do whatever you want. Like you're trying to protect him. He doesn't come on the show. He's never been on the show, and he never will be on the show.
I'm going to do the experiment.
So I don't understand why you can't talk about him.
He seems like a sensitive guy. He already left the Discord because he had some people were messing with him, and I don't know. I just don't want to do it. Everybody wants to write about wrestling. Some people could send their reviews to Jason Powell, maybe get a gig.
Yeah.
I'm looking at you, Juan Unda.
Right.
So, and I forgot, Joe should be doing one of them with that. What's that that's always sending us ideas? And
Juan Unda.
Juan Unda.
Yeah.
You and Juan Unda should fucking book one of the shows.
That's a power team right there. One thing that I did see, although it was
with no power.
Sadly, the problem is today we have people that still don't get it, and that's why wrestling's dead. That's why it's doomed. That's why I hate Juan Unda. Fucking bald, big chin cunt. Fucking idiots who subscribe to that Patreon that just cannot tell the difference that it's a fucking TV show. Jersey Rican cunt.
They showed that fight they had in the parking lot, and they had to be separated. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're trying to produce this like they're really going to fight each other.
Yeah. Very well done. Very good. Some really good writing here on this show.
It just shows you that too. You can't be serious unless you use foul language.
Right.
If these guys are serious about it, So
this ain't Juan Unda writing, but this is really close. Nothing.
Hi, Ariana Grace here, and I'd like to thank the great viewers and the wonderful listeners of Get My Go for the dedication to the past 3 seasons, not 1, not 2, but 3. Mike, Joe, Husey, Dean, and Chad. Really love your comments, your tweets, and they're very thankful for you guys buying t-shirts and supporting the sponsors. So keep it up, you guys. You're doing a great job. And Merry Christmas to all.
What do we do if his scripts are really good, though? I mean, they could.
Won't be.
Maybe.
Go ahead, Durban.
No, he was just trying to tell me.
Please, because I don't have all day. This is going to take.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Fascinating conversation about taxi drivers. My God.
You guys have Uber in Ireland?
No. What's a car?
All right. Well, welcome to the Christmas episode. We didn't do one last year, and Husey has been on my case for 365 days for that reason. I'm sorry. I apologize to Husey and all of the other Christmas aficionados out there. We're doing it this year, and we will do it every year from now on. We will never skip Christmas again. Well, as a present to you, Husey, to make up for the loss last year, I've arranged for a special appearance by a mythical legend, and I'd like to welcome him to the show right now.
The Illumination?
It's not Cotton Kwanzaa, is it?
Hello! Welcome, Get My Go. It's so happy to be here today.
Holy fuck, it's Don Aykroyd from Trading Places.
Something specifically for you today.
Oh.
It's Juan Unda on a silver platter. Would you like it? Because it's here waiting for you.
Oh.
Is this thing on?
Yeah, we got you.
Oh, hello, Get My Go.
Oh, beautiful.
I was laughing. Jesus. This guy always blames his audience.
I'm sorry, I can't hear everybody. Santa's hearing must be off. I did manage to get headphones underneath this hat, which is pretty impressive, but
yeah,
I digress.
Usually still trying to figure out what that accent is. He's like,
I don't know what it is either.
Hello!
I think it's Creole.
Santa's universal, that's why.
I think it's Durbin's New Orleans Uber driver.
Yeah.
Sounds like Seinfeld's girlfriend's belly button.
All right, other than Santa Claus, we are joined by the great John Paz from the Two-Man Power Trip.
Hello, hello.
Beautiful. You're wearing Hogan colors, and if anyone wants to hear a great Hulk Hogan interview, you can listen to it over on the Two-Man Power Trip feed.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, yes, you are correct. Definitely.
What a review.
Great review. Thank you, Mike.
And also, bottom right, this is a different setup. I see 3 on one side, 3 on the other, but the bottom right is the Philly Fanatic, Joe Feeney. Is that a Christmas shirt, Joe, or is it just a...
Yeah, no, it's Jesus. Okay. Santa Claus and Jesus rocking out. I plan on debuting my Artie Lang laugh today.
I'm surprised it didn't debut after Chad's hilarious intro.
Next to him, we have the mayor of Mallertown, a guy that from the other side of the planet, he has managed to almost convince somebody to end it all. He's completely killed nobody's artistic desire and the ability to create things. A very powerful man from Australia, Dean, Aussie guy. Welcome.
Yes.
What a scumbag.
Superhuman strength.
Thank you, Mike. Actually, we'll just debut my new supervillain character, the Joke Man, and I'll send you a graphic, Mike, that you can put it in post. But yeah, the Joke Man can kill someone's dreams with a single punchline. Definitely. And Husey, I love Husey's Christmas spirit. He's the Mick Foley of Get My Go. He loves Christmas, and he doesn't remember that he just shit himself.
Also, I think we should, not that I'm drinking it on water, but we should all hope this year for more mistletoe than camel toe.
Ayo. The last drinking episode drove Durbin so crazy though that we can't possibly do another one. Of course, there wasn't just drinking going on. I mean, on this, well, somebody was doing drugs. I'm just not going to point any fingers.
Yeah. Ooh.
I love that Feeney's still rocking the sunglasses. That's great.
Not
gimmick.
sunglasses. Jesus.
Yeah.
Prescription.
They look like glasses that he put like just some kind of tape over them because you can see the bubbles on them.
Yeah, they're not very well put together, but yes, they are prescription.
I love that you were at a wedding and were wearing sunglasses indoors at night. That was
everywhere.
Very dark, in a very dark room.
Yeah, in a really, really dark room. That was great.
They go everywhere with me now.
Good group.
All right, let's get started. This may be a long episode. I don't know. We'll see. But
Just
we are doing another new target. And this is one that we hinted at over the summer during our break. We kept saying we were going to do it. And the gentleman who we will be covering today knows about it. And he, I'll tell you what he said about it later when we get to certain parts. But the gentleman's name is Juan Unda. Now, Husey, as the moderator and the creator of the Keeping It 100 YouTube channel, you may be the first person to encounter him, or maybe it was Joe. I don't know. Maybe it was in an email submission, but who became aware of this guy first?
I think it might have been me because I noticed that he was starting to answer questions. So someone would leave a comment saying, "Hey, Conan or Disco and Joe, why or whatever happened to, I don't know, just say Rick Martel.
Glacier.
Yeah, and I would usually always reply to people with the email address, say email the show, fucking dickheads. And instead, Juan would be like, I believe Rick Martel got injured, and all this stuff. And he was leaving, I think there was one day, because I get an email every time the YouTube gets updated in some way with a comment. I think one day there was something like 140 comments by him. And I remember thinking, when I seen the email threads, I thought, oh, fuck, the channel's under attack by like some type of a hack thing. But instead, they were all legitimate comments. And I thought, who the fuck is this guy? And he's like,
the hacks are on the show.
Yeah, and he starts giving these like comments about like giving advice and booking experience. And I'm thinking, who the fuck is that? Because in the past, the YouTube channel has had like Ryback and Brian Cage and what's LA Knight's real name?
Eli Drake.
Yeah, he was
Sean
in the
Ricker.
Sean Ricker.
That's the yeah. He's been in the Keep It 100 YouTube comments and
Robert Frank,
and Karen Cross. So I'm thinking, is this a fucking wrestler guy? And I realized like, no, he's just a demented fucking freak of nature crossover fucking Mike Tyson Fury looking Conan bastard child spinoff. And
that's the other weird thing about him is that he looks
that's very weird.
He looks almost identical to like Conan from maybe 20 years ago. Like if
we're going to get in trouble for this because I realized as we were talking, it's 6 white males attacking a Latino, and that's not going to go well.
Well, he actually that's what he wrote to me. I don't know if it was privately or if he commented that, but he said when he found out that Get My Go was going to feature him in a future episode, he let it be known that it's 5 white males going after a
not technically
Puerto Rican.
I'm Portuguese. I'm part Portuguese, so Juan could back off a little bit there. Yeah.
But
he said, and his words were not a good look. So he's insinuating that I would say to him in response, Juan, our first 50 episodes are targeted at 2 Caucasian males. So we're branching out, and
is Juan the first non-Caucasian?
He might be, yeah.
What about
a stuttering John?
What about a Taku? Yeah, it's
Taku.
Puerto Rican.
Taku.
But that's the other thing about Juan is that he is obsessed with the fact that he's a Puerto Rican from New Jersey, and he would even write every time we'd write in saying, "As a Jersey Rican, who do you think's going to win the Royal Rumble?" And it's like, what do you think, you dumb fucking freak? And the other question I have is, why do you live in a bare, empty room? Usually that's what people who are on the run do. That's what people who have had to cut their internet cord because they were caught trying to meet up for pizza with someone who's 7. I think that fucking there's something really, really wrong with this guy.
Serial killer stuff.
I could say this genuinely. I fucking hate him. I can't stand him. I hate him more than I never hated Wangland. I just thought Wangland was a dick. I fucking hate Juan Unda.
All because he tried to give you the whereabouts of Rick Martel. That's why you hate the guy.
No, and another thing, he kept fucking DMing me on Instagram over and over, and he would send me voicemails going, "If I'm very likely interviewing Conan, what would you like me to ask him?" It's like, okay, well, ask Conan why is he talking to a fucking retard. This fucking, and that's the problem with Keep 100. There's a new guy on the scene called Brian Dunlap, and I can see he's going to be a problem. I've in the past 7 months, I've become more sarcastic than I could have ever hoped of being when I was a kid. It's actually becoming to the point that it's unfair. And I said to him as a joke, because he left this fascinating YouTube comment that said, "First." So cool. First, never seen it before. So I said, "You've won the contest of the free Christmas jumper. Contact Joe Feeney."
Oh, you son of a bitch.
So I gave him my an ex-girlfriend's phone number. Right? So and he's fucking and he sent me another comment going, I've been sending Joe messages, but he's not getting back to me. It's like,
that's odd.
Your ex-girlfriend's old phone number. How many numbers were in that for somebody in the United States? Wouldn't he have known right away?
Yeah, well, she's not alive anymore.
Okay.
There are a few things that Juan is obsessed with. Every post either deals with his age or his race or
his background in comedy.
Yeah, his background in comedy or his background in wrestling. Now, I've asked him multiple times, and I'm sure Husey has too, where are these videos of you wrestling in the early 2000s? And he makes excuses every time. So there's no proof that he actually trained. I mean, it's not that hard to train to be a wrestler. It's not, anybody can do it. You go to a school and you sign up and that's it. You pay your money and that's it. But the guy talks about it constantly. Yeah, he talks about it, but there's no proof of it. The only proof that he's done any kind of comedy is that he keeps posting the same clip of the, what's the guy's name? The Fat Doctor?
He says he worked with a guy that mentored Dave Chappelle, right? Isn't that what he said?
Yeah, but
that's pretty good.
Who cares? You know?
Yeah.
Where did it get you?
If that's the case, then everybody would be on Dave Chappelle's level. Like that's like saying I'm the one who taught Michael Jordan how to be tall. It was my idea for him to be tall, and I said, "Here's what you need to do to get to 7 feet." And all you're going to do is listen to me and you'll be 7 feet tall. Juan Unda's one of these dicks who probably has a fucking book that says how to be funny, how to grow your hair back, how to fucking not be a dickhead, which I'm going to get for Christmas for Billy Body. And I think that he's one of those people that goes to self-help fucking classes. What do you call that big-headed fuck Tony Robbins?
He's also got something with his geographic location, and he has to relate everything to being from New Jersey, which Jonathan and myself will know, not always the biggest badge of honor you want in the world, but he's obsessed with Lakewood, New Jersey, John, if you didn't know.
Wow, so that is a not great place to be obsessed with.
But it's weird, but for a guy who claims to be a Jersey Rican, if he was in Lakewood, he'd be hanging around with a lot of Jewish people, a lot of Orthodox Jewish people.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing about that. Here's the thing about that real quick. Sorry, Husey, I'll let you go in like 5 seconds. I spoke to a K100 listener who also himself was a Latino from the Jersey and New York area. And so in a lot of Juan's posts, he would always talk about how crazy the race wars were and the Ricans versus the Italians, and you couldn't go in this neighborhood and blah, blah, blah. And the guy that was from the same area was like, I don't want to hurt this guy's feelings, but everything he's saying is bullshit. This is so made up, Like I kind of thought that, like he's just an exaggerator and a storyteller, and he wants to big up himself, as the kids say.
He's very obsessed with being from New Jersey, and then he has to always mention that he lived in California for a short period of time, and then now I don't know, what is he in?
No, he was in Virginia too. No, he was in Virginia. Remember, he always mentions Virginia. And now he ended up somewhere in Delaware, which again might as well be in a hole in the ground somewhere. Because I mean, what the hell is going on in Delaware?
Hi, I'm in Delaware.
Yeah, I just wanted to point out that behind Chad's camera, he looks like Vince when he revealed himself to be the higher power. But also, Juan Unda's entire social media revolved around the fact that once, maybe a decade or more ago, he ate a pizza while wearing a leather jacket. That was it. Like some people have met presidents. Some people have fucking gone to see fucking Metallica and were front row and got the high five with James Hetfield. Some people met Michael Jackson. Some people fucking went through life-saving surgery at the hospital. Juan Unda had a pizza in his house. Yeah, and he must have uploaded that photograph. Last year, Durban, is this an exaggeration to say maybe 16 times?
Yes. He had Instagram and then he deleted it because he claims that people were trolling him. So, but if you were to look at his Instagram and you look at if you didn't pick one picture, if you just saw scroll down his thing, you'd see that pizza picture every fifth or sixth one. I mean, he kept posting it.
What locations did he say he lived in again? I was keeping track there, but I missed one. Where did he say he lived? New Jersey, and where else?
I think
Virginia.
born and raised in Jersey, and then went to California, probably chasing the screenwriting dream that he had, which didn't work out.
West Virginia.
So West Virginia, Chad, or
Say
Virginia?
West Virginia?
No, I think it was just regular Virginia. I think he was in somewhere either Richmond or Northern Virginia.
Oh, because if it was West Virginia, I was going to say he just stole all his location from the song Country Roads. That's what it sounded like to
me. West Virginia.
I want to know if Hughley's jealous of him, though, because he has interviewed Conan and usually does not. So I wonder
when did he interview Conan?
Jealous.
He was planning to. He thought he was going
that
to.
never came to pass.
What happened?
But the biggest problem before I know Husey said, let's fucking get quick. I just want to bring this up. The thing that really happened was I don't think it was you guys fucking with him or busting balls on Twitter or Instagram. It was when Conan finally started to make fun of him on the show. Yeah. Because initially Conan said they read one of his scripts to Husey's delight and to many YouTube views. And kind of like just said, oh, you could get better. Here's what you need to do. And they were very polite about it. And then, like 6, 7, 8 weeks later, Conan started taking shots at him and busting his balls. And that's when he kind of left the Discord and disappeared. So I'm not sure if I really buy that he left and everything because you guys were fucking with him. I think it was Conan hurt his feelings.
But it's interesting.
None of us are in the Discord. Go ahead.
No, yeah, I know.
But it's interesting that Joe makes that point because it was right after the script was read out that time on the show. Juan was in the YouTube comments and he was telling people, yeah, Conan's got me a job at fucking what's the name of the company?
AAA.
Yeah. He wants me to join him in MLW. And I must be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's a big jump from them just going, yeah, nice little script here. Not
to the runner of AAA, behind the scenes and communicating like highly detailed booking assignments to people. Yep, get me Unda. That's what they said. Unda.
That's a t-shirt.
Hey, bro, I need help with this main event. Where's the guy who had the pizza in the house with the leather jacket? There's one thing you can rely on Conan is that he's always going to be a really nice guy and accept all kinds of suggestions. In fact, I would say all wrestling fans right now, go to Conan's Twitter and start sending him booking ideas. He loves it. Conan just messaged me there and he said, "Hidely ho, Husey H man. WrestleMania's coming up, bro. Why don't you send me your WrestleMania dream match card?" And I think for Christmas, everybody should tweet Conan.
That's got to be a great booking meeting, though. Juan Unda, Conan, and Dorian. That's pretty good. Pretty good trio.
What should we do? They're just looking at Unda like, what do you got? You got the leather jacket on. Let's see.
I think Vikino should go over Phoenix. He's got great ideas.
All right. What do you guys want to start with? Do you want to start with his Dynamite script? Do you want to do some Instagram videos?
Instagram, please. I miss it.
How are we gonna read the scripts? Should we each take turns, or what's going to go on there?
Yeah. Well,
right. Can I just point that one thing about this video before it starts is every time he records, he looks like he's fascinated by the wonders of technology.
Yes, you watch his facial expressions, the way he moves his head back and forth, and just
and look at how much he keeps looking at himself to see if the thing's still recording. He's so dumb he doesn't know that when you record a vlog or a video, you're supposed to look at the lens. But he's too dumb. He's like, I gotta see what I look like with my goddamn Ray Liotta booking face.
If you listen to Keep It 100, you know that Joe selects somebody new each week, usually unless it's himself, but he'll pick a lucky listener to do the Keep It 100 intro. And this particular week, he selected Mr. Unda.
You fellas got to check out the latest episode of Keeping It 100. Yours truly is doing the intro. And this week, what people really want to hear are the fellas dressing down Billy Body. Now, that British hoodlum's been telling everybody and their brother how great and how rich he is for so long. So Conan and Disco are going to dress him down a little bit. Stay tuned.
But you know what? I take back everything I said about Juan Unda. He's a good guy. I take back. I love your scripts. You're going to make it small chin.
I wish anything could make me as happy as recording a quick Instagram video makes Juan.
Yeah. Look at that snazzy shirt, though. Fucking living large.
We neglected to mention what an enormous fan he was of the word hoodlum, though. Or hoodlum.
Oh, yeah.
However you say that.
This guy, I take it he's been to some sort of class for like comedy and writing and shit like that, because he's so over exaggerating facial expressions and trying to really make a point with a face. You know,
I love that he's a part of the booking meetings with Feeney, like the production meetings. I love it. He's on the ball.
Mm-hmm. And don't you love the smugness of him? Like, this is fucking 1990s Mike Tyson levels of ego going on. But then look at his shirt.
Dean, you just mentioned that he was over exaggerating his facial expressions. Well, he actually acknowledges doing that in this next clip.
Oh,
wow.
Dude, yes.
Wow.
Live with Kelly audition. I had never seen this.
Oh, my God.
Holy shit.
Hey,
all right,
Durband, what's he wearing?
That's the pizza-eating leather jacket.
Yeah.
Hey.
And
so
significantly heavier is what I'm going to point out. Like looking at him from this one, from the last one.
Dean, how dare you? How dare you?
Well, come on now. You know, we can point out that his face is fuller, can't we?
I don't know if this was did Regis retire or did he die? Like what happened?
He retired. At first he retired and then he died years later.
You got to get that order right. Yeah, retired. Then
yeah, he didn't die and then retire.
Right. Yeah.
Kind of takes you out quick.
Wouldn't that be great though?
way before that though. That's when he way before that. That's when he disowned his handicapped son. But that has nothing to do.
Oh, whoa! Wrong show, Feeney. Wrong show.
Yeah.
All right. So apparently Kelly had a contest to pick her new co-host. She ended up going with the great Michael Strahan, but Juan thought that he would have been a perfect choice. And you guys don't talk over this. The volume is very low, and you would, if you're going to submit an audition tape to a legitimate television show, you'd think you'd want to have your volume level set correctly. But this one's very low. So hold the laughter, everybody. Here we go.
So this tape is for the fine people at ABC Disney. Live with Kelly. Well, Kelly, why should you cast me? Because you're a co-host for a day? Well, I'm a Jersey boy. I'm Latin. Relatively funny guy. I could be that guy. I could be that guy who makes the faces. Like, man of a million faces. I've been doing stand-up and improv comedy for many years, so I can definitely help you out with that. I'm a conversationalist. I love to talk. Matter of fact, I'm having my coffee right now, so I'm used to a little bit of coffee talk, as we say. Definitely, life of the party type. Have a lot of energy. Fun to be around. And, I'll cut to the chase. Why not?
Two faces. I counted two. He's a man of a million. I counted two.
Yeah, he's the man of a million faces, and sadly, none of them are bruised.
You remember back in the days, like the original dating sites, and you'd do a little video, as your dating profile. That's what that was. Like, I'm fun. I can.
Yeah. I love the holding of the mug, though. Like that was like his ingenious part. Like, oh look, coffee talk. I'm holding the mug and making all these weird faces. Yeah.
Do you think he actually thought from that? He says, "See, well, that's it. I'm going big time."
Yep.
Yeah, he planned his whole day. Probably wrote out the script. Not like the people from Regis and Kelly did that as a promotion, and we're just going to go to some high-level Hollywood agency to find out who would be the next replacement for Regis Philbin. I don't think they would go there, but maybe they'd start with Juan Unda and work their way up.
Yeah, and what kind of a dumb fuck thinks that you could get on a fairly high-profile show by yelling into the onboard mic of a device? Surely you would use some type of equipment to actually come across as, professional, to make it worth your money, make it worth your time, for the people to keep having you on, for the audience listening. But thankfully Juan is the only one that bloody did it.
Yeah,
I love the selling points, though, right? He's Latin, he's from Jersey, and he wears a leather jacket. How could he not be on the show? Come on.
Did you notice his specialty in accents when he said coffee talk? That was a home run.
Was fucking hilarious. If Durband had have asked me to keep quiet, I probably would have vomited with pure laughter, because he said coffee in a wacky voice.
Coffee.
Man, of 1,000 voices.
Not as good as Opie. I would have liked a bit more coffee.
Coffee. with the doggy. Hey, do you think there's a possibility that you don't need equipment if you've got passion? I think that's what we've learned from podcasters that we've dealt with over the last 2 years. Is you don't need anything but passion to speak into a device or microphone, or not lack of microphone.
Sometimes it's just a way to deal with your mental illness. Apparently,
not touching it.
All right, so here's the proof that he wanted me to review his samples. So here's the email. Actually, Husey, why don't you read this in the
No.
Come on, you do the best. Juan Unda.
You're gonna blur his phone number.
Oh,
out,
of
right?
course, yeah.
And Mike, I appreciate you taking the time to read this. You've followed the business for many years, so I wanted to hear your thoughts. Attached to the 2 writing samples I sent to K100. The second document, shove it up your ass, is a sitcom pilot. The show was developed for me by the guy who broke Dave Chappelle into show business. A sitcom based on my time working in a in a wacky mailroom, pre SJW comedy. Best, fuck me, I'll not read out the number. Best, the Jersey Rican Juan Unda.
After that, so that clearly was a request for this.
Yes.
Yeah. So because I was certainly going to say allegedly before everything I said, but now that this was a request. I'm gonna go full blast. I'm gonna say things like, and now Mike, you'll just bleep all of this for comedic value.
Well, Joe, did you guys ever read this on air, or did you just glaze over it?
We read one of them in a mailbag once, I think. The rest didn't happen. I don't know, Husey, correct me if I'm wrong. Do we read a script more than once?
I think it was a Patreon only exclusive, which would explain why the numbers are so huge.
So he wrote a script for the AEW Dynamite, October 26th, 2022. Of course, it's all fictional, and it had to be in Atlantic City, New Jersey, because that's, again, he's from that area. So he's got Joey Styles and Matt Stryker on commentary.
That's not correct.
Both, by the way, are not commentators for AEW at all.
This isn't like a dream. Wait, this is a dream. AEW?
This is a dream. Yeah, this is a fantasy.
What a hack!
I was going to say, it's already not
the commentators.
Second sentence is not accurate.
So if he could have picked anybody of all the great announcers of yesteryear, this is who he picked.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to
2007 ECW style. Great, nice.
I'm not going to nitpick every little thing on this, but it would have helped to do it with a little more, in a real universe than this high school guy with a notebook booking in his notebook kind of thing. I don't know.
Yeah, this is what I remember now about Juan Unda. He's the king of fan fiction. That's what his deal is. Now I remember. He's fan fiction man.
You're submitting a script and what? 2 lines in. The second line, they're like, so we've got to hire new people to actually make this take place.
See, this is already like, he says he got found like an old Raw script and he tried to use that as his, forum or not forum. What am I thinking of?
Format.
Format.
Template.
Format. Yeah.
Template format. And but the thing is, there's no instructions to the craft. No, there's no instructional notes to the commentators in any of this. That has to be in everything. But
or time cues or fucking. That's not a script. I actually not because I just get angry. I at one point had an animation deal with the BBC, and we learned all about this scripting shit and about how obviously I don't know how to write a pro wrestling show, but neither does Juan Unda based on this. But that's not a script. That is a bullet points for a podcast interview. That's a shopping list. That's a order you're going to get from the nose beer shop. That is not. This is he didn't even format it correctly. Like he's just a clueless mark who thinks he's above the rest of the marks because that's what his therapist told him.
Yeah, there should have been time on each of this. 8 minutes for the match, 2 minutes for intros, whatever.
Yeah, you can find them. I mean, there's been leaks where you see formats released on the internet, and I guess he's taking elements of that by including the agent. That's very inside to include the agent for the match.
Yes.
But definitely, I mean, you can go out there and see a format you see like an old Raw from the early, 2010s pop up or something from a pay-per-view that leaked. I mean, Cornette talks about it all the time about how to format stuff. But it's he clearly heard like a piece of that and then ran with it, and it just made like this is the cliff notes of.
I just saw one for WrestleMania 10. They had it. Pat Patterson did Brett and Owen.
Yes,
Pat Patterson did Brett and Yoko. Like they had it out. He probably saw something like that online pop up. But I love that Paul White is spelled wrong, and I love the assumption that he's an agent too. That's great.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm just looking.
And you can't just anybody can just do that though, John. Anybody can jump in.
Oh yeah, you just throw it. Yeah, that's true. That is true. Yeah.
So
you don't need an experienced guy or somebody that's used to it. Yeah, you don't need that. Yeah.
Dean.
Should I go or anyone else?
Yes, go Dean. Go Dean.
No, it's
you know what I was thinking?
Yeah, good. It's a match and then a finish. Like cool. We get a little bit creative down the bottom here. What have we got? Taz takes the mic and says, "Enjoy." I can't.
Swimming with the sharks in New York. Enjoy swimming.
Yeah, because they're all sharks in New York. I love how fucking New Yorkers love themselves so much.
That was what? No, that's what.
And Jersey and shit.
That's way inside. That means that he's beating Cage here, and that the assumption is Cage is going to WWE. So basically, Taz is winking at the smart audience and saying, "Go swim with the sharks in New York," which is WWE.
Wow, feeling inside. Wow. Damn.
Yeah, I mean, you'd usually go with maybe sleep with the fishes, but we'll go with swim with the sharks. Okay.
I took a script analysis class.
Speaking of AEW, you're going to get his thoughts on AEW.
People are always asking me, Juan.
Okay, he says that a lot too. He always he will always type it out, or he'll say that people are asking him. There's nobody asking him anything ever. Nobody.
Who the hell is asking him anything?
That's not true. I seen footage of Angus Young walked up to Juan Unda and he says, "Hey, Juan, what do you think about what's going on with the AEW mid card?" And he goes, "Well, Angus, that's a good topic for one of my blog videos." There's no way Conan didn't come inside his mother. And I think Tyson Fury had a go on her as well later on after some good luncheon. I think Conan and Tyson Fury had a go. Look at that. "Hey, bro, give me your kidney, bro."
Oh, shit.
People are always asking me, "Juan, what do you think about AEW?" Now, I say this all the time. When the company first started, the idea of somebody my age competing with Vince McMahon, I thought it was a good thing. Now, they've been on TV almost 3 years. And, I'm not going to lie. I'd like to work there in some capacity.
Wait a minute.
I'm not going to BS.
He's not going to lie about it.
No. Yeah. Is this fucking laundry? Is he doing his laundry in the background? Do you hear that? Sounds like you got a pair of sneakers in the dryer.
No, I think that's his victim trying to scrape the way out. He kidnapped the dog a few times, and he's in a refractory period, so he's recording this video for Angus.
Refractory period. Nice.
Sorry, I'll be honest. I would like to work for AEW. I can convince people to kill themselves with just the jokes. So
it's true.
We can get hate.
But I'm not going to BS anybody. I think it needs work. I think they need to go focus maybe on 10 guys and maybe cut 60% of the roster because they don't really use them. They're just their filler, and YouTube shows. Who cares? But overall, I haven't seen it in like 18 months. I would watch clips or something like that. People would let me know spoilers, but I don't really watch it anymore. I know based on what I'm told, and the first 18 months I watched it, maybe the first year was decent, and after that it just went, needs work. WWE isn't much better, but WWE has a 50-year head start, so what are you going to do? They should just improve. If it was up to me, I'd say new announcers, new set, cut a lot of the roster, less gaga, less 15-minute matches, and some promos people give a crap about. I mean, this is Wrestling 101, but what do I know? I was trained by a guy, and I spent some time on the indies, and one of the guys that Chris Jericho calls the best bumper in the business trained me, but I don't know anything, so...
You don't, so we don't take anything you say credibly.
Yeah, and you clearly landed on your fucking head every time you took a bump, you dumb cunt. What does that even mean? Yes, so he's better than Tony fucking Khan. Well, he probably is. But so because he learned how to take a bump in 2006, he should now be given $1 billion company to run.
Who trained him? Who was the guy?
Pat Tanaka.
Oh, the best bumper in the business, Pat Tanaka. Interesting. Wow. I'm sure Pat would love to take credit for training him, I'm sure.
Yeah. I'm sure Pat's probably been at a lot of seminars where people pay $45 to hear him talk for like an hour.
I was just gonna say, yeah. I was trained by Joel Gertner and Cliff Compton and Rip Rogers.
There you go. Yeah.
What do you call it? Riddle.
I love that he goes, people ask me. I haven't watched it in 18 months, but people still ask me that. Why would they ask you?
He hasn't missed an episode. He hasn't missed a second or a minute.
Yeah, and why would your parole officer be asking you about AEW?
Dean, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, do you think he thinks he can do the people's eyebrow, but doesn't realize both are going up? I don't understand why. What's with the fully raised eyebrows, I guess.
He's the man of a million faces. Come on.
Man of a million faces. Wow, there's your episode title.
That's a gif. That's a gif.
He's Dean Malenko. Right, he's the man of a million faces. The Dean Malenko of podcasts.
Do you think Dean Malenko signed his emails, the man of 1,000 holds, like he signed his the Jersey Rican?
Yes.
It's way too expressive and distracting from his brilliant ideas. But I think I think Dean said it earlier, clearly he took a comedy class that probably had how to perform in front of people, and that's why he's over enunciating. Well, that's for words, but whatever. He's overly expressive and it's very distracting. What is this?
Yeah, but why is he even sending the script to Durban in the first place? Like, who the fuck's because he said
at this point, Keeping It 100 had ignored him, so he was trying to get me to maybe do it on my show. Which show is that, Husey? The one you're always telling me to bring back?
The Mike Durban show, which you really, really should.
Sure.
He was trying the old go around, if you will, with Mike.
Yeah. He was reaching out to everybody. I'm sure he sent it to a dozen people with shows. But
the old reach around with Mike. I want to know Mike's thought process reading it. Like, okay, Joey Styles and Matt Striker don't work for AEW. Okay, close this and go back to what I was doing. Yeah.
Joey Styles, who's left the business altogether and wants no part of it, is going to come back because Juan Unda needs him on commentary.
Yeah.
The problem is when he said, this is Wrestling Booking 101. Yeah, that's the problem. Anybody can do Wrestling Booking 101. I looked at his script for a second. It had a lucha match. It had a women's match. It had a big guy match. It had a promo. It's just what everybody's idea of a wrestling show is. But if anybody could write a wrestling show, then anybody or everybody would be doing it. And there's 8 people that currently script wrestling show. Well, I know WWE has a lot of writers, but you know what I'm saying? There's not that many places to do it. And obviously it's like becoming a fucking astronaut. You're not just going to drop ass backwards into it. So...
Yeah, it's like everybody knows Joe loves Guns N' Roses, but you don't hear him saying, Slash, this is what you need to do. You need to play this note more, and what you and Axel should study. You just you know what, I'm going to enjoy it for what it is. And sadly, Juan, and this is a real growing problem with wrestling fans, is in fact, not even a growing problem. Chad's been saying this for fucking years. Just be a fan. Juan needs to understand that he's not destined for fame and fortune. He's in his 40s. It's not for you. If you haven't got there by now, you won't. Stop following underage girls and fucking start doing your job just accept that you will not become a famous writer, and stop fucking going on other shows like Tony Schiavone saying that you're sent there by Keeping It 100 because we get enough shit.
It's the effort. Joe says all the time how he went to the script writing seminar. I know, John, you've done script writing analysis and you've been around independent organizations. I've done the same thing. I worked at WWE for a short amount of time, but I tried. He's not even trying. He's not going into any of these seminars and posting that, hey, I just attended a thing at this community college of script writing 101 and I learned this. Or, hey, I'm looking for anybody who knows any pro wrestling independent organizations that need somebody to help them with the show. He's not trying. He's just doing it and thinking because he watches wrestling, that's his experience, and that ain't gonna fly. But that's what we get these days with people who either podcasts or whatever.
I love that though. Like, let's take his script. I've done classes with Ed Ferrara, the guy who wrote with Russo, wrote WCW, wrote WWF, the Height of the Attitude Era. Nah, forget Ed. Screw him. I'm going to take Juan Unda's advice. I'm going to take this guy's advice because he's a Jersey Rican and he sits on his grandfather's couch eating pizza and usually loves his jacket. That's why I'm going to take this guy's opinion.
There is There's a booking course at the Monster Factory, so head on over, drop your 2,500 or 3,000, and follow Danny Cage around and learn how to write shows.
I love the comparison though. It's like, I'm like Tony Khan. We're like the same age. That's where the comparison stops. That's it.
Yeah.
You're just around the same age. Okay.
We both booked in a notebook.
Yeah.
There you
go. We've seen 2 clips so far. One where he thinks he should be working for AEW, and another where he's auditioning for a talk show that's nationwide. Like, this guy is incredibly delusional in how talented he is.
This one's called Weekly Wrap Up number 2.
Needs spelled with a C.
This rap is crap.
Hey, Joey Bag of
Joey Bag of Donuts. There you go.
I guess that's one of his characters, one of his many thousands.
Hey, Joey Bag of Donuts.
What is it? Is Juan Joe? Is Juan Joe in Hispanic culture?
I think it's John.
John, okay.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Weekly Wrap. It's your favorite hoodlum from New Jersey, Joey Bag of Donuts.